Let's go.
Hey, look, y'all. I know every week we try and have some funny, whatever made up intro, but after watching the game,
I was gonna sing.
What you gonna say?
My anxiety is still.
Yeah, I don't have some cute intro today.
I really know how it feels to be stressed out. Hey man, between watching Power this morning and watching this game, man, like I'm not that dude. Come on now, no. I am not Rodney. I am not that dude, dog. I'm just saying, I'm stressed out. No. I will never be that loser on Facebook spoiling for everybody else, man.
I got a question.
I'm just saying I'm stressed out.
Is this the last season?
Yes.
Is this the final
season? It needs to be.
But 50 said it wasn't though.
Yeah, I need this to be the final. I need this. I ain't watched season 2, but I need this to be the final.
It's kind of nowhere to go, right?
Look, before we get into Heart Attack Sunday, how's y'all's week? How's y'all past week?
It was a great week for me. It was great. It was a great week for me.
Florida State didn't play,
so I had nothing to be stressed out.
Florida State about to have a bad week.
You better hope so, because boy, if we win, Rodney, Lord have mercy on your soul.
Rodney got to take a leave of absence.
You gonna have to not be here next week if we win.
I won't be here till November.
Oh man, Rodney, you went out of town last week, right?
Yeah, I went to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
How was that?
It was cool. Saw one of my best friends get married. Congrats to Earl and Whitney.
Did you eat cheesesteak?
I did.
Where did you go?
I went to Max's in the hood.
Okay, good choice.
I went to Max's and
on South Street.
On South Street.
Yep.
Smack dab in the hood.
Yep.
Okay.
Philadelphia is gladiator school.
Okay.
That's a different type of world, man.
Get a few war wounds.
No. I stayed away from those war wounds.
Okay.
But the element was there. Just put it like that.
Well,
and I had Larry's on the west side of Philly.
I like Philly for some reason. Yeah.
I love Philly. I moved to Philly.
Well, glad you survived. Welcome back to the country city. Jamal, what you got, man?
I'm stressed out, Vince.
What's up, man?
We can't keep doing this every week. We can't keep doing this every single week, man. Where do you go with this? I'll say this. Going back to last week, I said I like these kind of victories because they really test your character. Now, I don't know if I meant the fans or the players because this is really testing me right now, man. We're going to go with both, man. But another gutsy victory, man. So this is one of those games where, we come at it obviously from a Panthers perspective, obviously. Yeah. But we tend to forget a lot that you got to give the other team credit sometimes. You just do. They get paid just like those Panthers players get paid, man. We are not going to spend a lot of time talking about the other team's quarterback, but Gardner Minshew is pretty doggone impressive, man. He's pretty doggone impressive, man. But I like the way we gutted it out once again. The referees are trying to take it from us. We'll get to that a little later, man. But good victory overall, man.
For everyone that's listening, for everyone that's watching, when I asked Jamal, what does he have for us? How's he doing? I was asking him, how's he doing personally? Because I care about my friend.
Thank you, man.
But since he went on and segued into our back-to-back winning season, we'll just go with it, So
I don't mess around over here.
To officially introduce the show to the Carolina Panthers back-to-back winning season, we'll talk about the game that just ended between Carolina and Jacksonville. Carolina eked out a 34-27 victory. I'm going to say 3 times. I'm going to say they beat Jacksonville 3 times today. All right?
Right.
Because I didn't see the penalty. I didn't see the penalty.
That wasn't a hand to the face.
It wasn't a hand to the face. And then they got the encroachment. So I'm just going to say Carolina beat them 3 times. But before we get into it, I like to always throw out a few stats. So some of the stats that jumped out to me was our illustrious quarterback, Mr. Allen, went 17-30. He only passed for 181 yards, though. That really shouldn't matter because we got the win. But I know in years past, even though we get the win, if those yards don't add up, it's problems. So I just felt like I needed to say that, okay? But our everything Mr. Offense, I'm not even going to call him a running back because he is the offense. Christian McCaffrey gave us 19 carries.
MVP.
And if he's not the NFL's leading getter for MVP right now, something is wrong. But 181 yards on the ground. Then he had another 60 passing.
63.
Three touchdowns. So sure we'll be talking about that.
That's a bad dude, man.
It is. It's very bad. Now, someone who started the game off quietly but ended on a great note was DJ Moore.
Yeah.
I don't think he had a catch in the first quarter, but he ended up with 91 yards receiving. So, good stuff there. And one thing that jumped out at me was Greg Olsen. I'm not even sure Greg Olsen got targeted today.
And I started him in fantasy football.
Ooh.
Yep. Big fat 0, buddy.
Ooh, that sucks.
Yeah,
they don't
man.
give points for blocking. In fantasy
nope. They don't give.
You want
for that?
If they gave points for blocks in the back, he would have got 3 or 4.
Man.
But
all right, Rodney, give me your thoughts on today's game.
Stressful. We won because of CMC. CMC is, like Jamal alluded earlier before the podcast, the white LT.
Yeah.
This guy, man, we heard all the stuff. He can't run between the tackles. He's not this. He's not that. CMC is the real deal. If it wasn't for Patrick Mahomes, he'd be a clear-cut number 1 MVP candidate.
Definitely.
This game, another standout for this game, man, Brian Burns, man. Shout out to Marty Herney. Like, if I'm a GM and I need a first-round pick, I'm calling my Herney to make the pick for me. He drafted Cam Newton, Luke Kuechly, now Brian Burns. Brian Burns is going to the Hall of Fame, man. I'm telling you. He's already the Rookie of the Year.
It is quite possible that this team may have a Rookie of the Year and MVP in the same year, man. What a time to be alive.
They're not going to give it to him.
Here's something that jumped out at me. Today. And I want to see if you guys can co-sign. For the last year or two, Cam Newton has gotten criticized a lot for relying very heavily on Christian McCaffrey. These last 3 games, and I understand that Kyle Allen, I understand that he's only a second-year quarterback, so he doesn't have the command of the team as a Cam Newton, but he has relied on Christian McCaffrey just as much as we've seen Cam in the past. So, has Cam really relied on CMC that much, or is this really just a design by North Turner? And should we or should we not be concerned with the workload that CMC continues to get?
I'm going to give you a very small sample size as an example for something. I want you to go back to a game where we played the Detroit Lions last year. Mm-hmm. And there was a certain receiver who's not here anymore that got targeted a whole lot. Where's that receiver right now? Doesn't matter. No, it doesn't matter. I'm going to also give you another example. There was a playoff game. The last playoff game we actually played against New Orleans. I won't, Vince. I will not. I will not. Damn it.
That was 3 years ago.
I don't care. How many drop passes were in that game?
I can't count them.
There's your answer right there. That's why Cam Newton relies on Christian McCaffrey so much, because nobody else was here to catch the damn ball, Vince. Now, to answer your question more directly, it's a little of both. And yeah, I kind of am concerned about the workload that Christian McCaffrey gets, because we even saw him go out with a late game injury. Now, it doesn't appear to be serious. We are all crossing our fingers, hoping to God it's not serious, but with all that being said, man, it is still a concern. We are talking about we have never had a running back with that heavy workload in this franchise. Not even Jay Stu, not D. Will. Not Stephen Davis. You get what I'm saying? And so yes, it is a concern.
Okay, Rodney. So speaking of the workload that the running back has been getting, give me your thoughts on the offensive line today, considering how many injuries that we had going into the game.
They get a B+ man to me.
They play pretty good to me.
They look really good. Like Dennis Daly, shout out to you on your first start.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
The blocking was there. The holes were there. Like I honestly came in the game thinking this was going to be a defensive slugfest. Okay. And both of the offenses on both sides surprised me. I didn't know Minshew was that good. Let's be real with you. I just thought he was just Joe Dirt with the mustache, and he was just going to throw for a couple yards, but. It's really impressed me. The offensive line is really impressive. I wish this was the offensive line in week 1 and week 2. Yeah. That's another story for another day, man.
Darren Williams seems to play a lot better at right guard than he does left tackle.
Because he's not a left tackle.
I tell you that much. That's pretty obvious.
I said that earlier. He's not a left tackle.
Oh, man. All right, so we've kind of already talked about this moving forward. Give me your quasi player of the game, not named Christian McCaffrey.
I'll go first. Offense or defense?
Either one. It's up to you.
Brian Burns.
Brian Burns.
3 tackles, 1 sack, forced fumble, touchdown. And I'm gonna give another one for offense. I'm going Reggie Bonifant.
Oh, stop it! Stop it!
Off of 3 carries.
Off of 3 carries. Off of 5 carries. Really,
80 yards, a touchdown. This shows that we can rely on other running backs and possibly shelve CMC.
Now that actually opens up another conversation.
I know where you're going.
My bad.
I know where you're going.
That opens up because now. Ever since the preseason, we have been screaming, play some of these other running backs to lighten the load.
Right.
Now, we saw Bonifant go in today with the exact same game plans they've been playing the first 3.5 quarters, and we saw the immediate amount of success that he had.
Don't doubt.
Is it our offensive scheme that's allowing these running backs to shine the way they are, or are we overvaluing Christian McCaffrey?
No. Listen,
Bonifant ain't catching no pass.
Listen. The offensive line performed very well. I will give them a lot of props today. Chris McCaffrey's a different animal, man. I think it is clear as day. This dude is hands down the best running back in the NFL. The cuts this dude was making today, and the acceleration after the cut, that stuff you can't even teach that, man. He's unreal.
The one stuff.
Chris McCaffrey, he is the definition of a game changer now. Like last year, we saw a little bit of what he could do, but he's kind of like. He's like elevating in the some
different stratosphere.
Yeah, man. Seriously, dude.
Now at this point, because we're recording this immediately after the game, so we haven't seen any reports, anything like that. He spent the last half of the fourth quarter on the sideline. We don't know if it was cramps or if he pulled anything.
Let's just hope it was cramps.
Any immediate concern?
No.
Not until we hear something. Because it very well might have just been cramps. So let's just not stress out any more than we already are
relax.
Until we hear something.
The words of the great Aaron Rodgers, relax.
Relax.
And if he is her, we have the great Reggie Bonifant anyway. So
hey man, Jordan Scarlett too. Shout out to you.
All right, so let me flip it real quick, Jamal. We kind of gave our little player of the games and all that good stuff. So give me an area of concern that you saw, whether it be with the scheme, whether it be with the play calling, or whether it be with an individual player.
Oh, I got an easy one.
What's up?
Kyle Allen. Stop fumbling the damn ball. It's that easy. Seriously, there was a drive where we were driving, we were almost about to score, and here we go. Kyle Allen's 7th fumble that puts us basically out of field goal position and out of scoring position. I keep saying it, man. That I know everybody gets excited with the new toy. Everybody wants to see the new thing. I'm going to tell y'all again, calm y'all asses down because we see it. We saw it today. Kyle Allen did not light it up today. No. He looked very, very average today. He looked like a hurt Cam Newton today. Let's be clear. But again, man, I just don't see how anybody can look at the last 2 weeks and say this defense is really winning these games for us, man, because we cannot continue to keep turning the ball over or shoot ourselves in the foot and take scoring opportunities away from our own selves and expect to keep beating good teams, man. It's just not going to keep happening like that.
All right, area of concern, Rodney.
The secondary. Dante Jackson not playing is
that's huge, man.
Shut up this week.
I think it's a bigger deal than we probably make it.
The pass rush is masking for it, but Cockrell's not a starting. He's not a starter.
He had a bad day.
I would say let's be careful with that because this time a week ago we were praising Cockrell pretty doggone good.
The line got there quicker, so Watson was under duress the whole game.
I do think the defensive line performed better this week.
You think so?
I do. No. I'm sorry. Last week.
No.
I mean last week. No. I think they performed better last week, and that's why you saw Cockrell benefit from that. Like this week, it wasn't as they didn't put a lot of heat on Minshew, not like they did last week. And you see, Russ Cockrell had a really bad day today. He had a really bad day today, man.
Okay, well, moving on. So we got tagged today by one of our fans. What's up, Brandon? Appreciate the tag. And he highlighted how empty the stadium was at the beginning of
I'm so
kickoff.
shocked.
So eventually the stadium filled up. But is this a concern? Does this speak to the city and the fan base? What like
this happens in Hornets games. This happens in Panthers games. Our fans are wine and cheeses, so
you don't say.
We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll show up. I mean, we're not die hard yet. Like,
yeah,
with 30, 31 years into this thing, like maybe it never comes, but it's typical. It's Charlotte, man.
So we all know we live in a banking city. There are a lot of these people who get their tickets through their jobs.
Yep.
Their banks and their business partners or people they're trying to sell homes to. No shade. So it's just like how much do you really value a ticket that you're given?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like if you're like, it sounds corny. Like if you're like a real fan and you go buy your ticket and you really are trying to be there for the game on time, you're going to hustle to get there because you want to see your team. You want to see the intro. You want to see all that stuff. But you just got some ticket from your lawyer buddy and you just had to tailgate and that beer is real good and you want to put it down yet.
Finish it.
We'll get there. We'll get there when we get there. That's Charlotte. That's what Charlotte culture is right now, unfortunately. And that's why we're here to change it. So
if we start winning consistently at a high level,
man, let me tell you something.
Make it change?
Oh, no. Because it becomes more trendy if we win. It becomes a lot more cool to get there. Yeah.
Look, let us be 10-2. Man, everybody be at that gate lined up waiting to get in. I'm telling you, man.
Because this happened today,
right?
It is finally fall. Hey, fall, missed you. Weather is cool. Nice little overcast, no rain. Does this negate the reasoning on opening day when everyone was saying that the hot summer weather?
It doesn't to me.
It does to me. Because I thought it was BS from the jump. I did. I just y'all know how much I go to these games, man. It's been a consistent pattern ever since I've been going to Panthers and Hornets games, man. So
to the fans' defense, it was hot as hell.
Now it was hot as hell.
It was hot as hell, man.
It was hot. It was hot.
I don't fault them. I didn't even go. I didn't even want to go. I had an opportunity. I'm like, it's too hot to be out there, man. We're in the South, bro.
All right. Well, speaking of hot, we came across a hot take this week. Okay, so Mr. Chad Forbes from the NFL Draft Bites went on Twitter and said that rumors are circulating inside the league that Mike Tomlin would be out as the Steelers head coach at the end of the year, and he'll be down in Charlotte with David Tepper next season. And Kevin Colbert would join Tomlin when his contract expires in 2020. So it's everywhere inside the circle. So I don't want to ask you guys, what do you think about the rumors? What I want to ask you, how would you feel about Mike Tomlin as a head coach for the Carolina Panthers?
If you don't,
bring it on, baby!
That devilish smile, boy. Bring
it on!
Boy, I saw the horns coming out of Rodney's head, boy. You go first, man. This your boy.
Look, Tomlin is a winner. Tomlin has had back-to-back winning seasons. Tomlin is a Super Bowl champion. Tomlin knows how to handle personalities.
He
knows how to handle personalities.
Really? That's why Antonio Brown's still there, huh?
No, Antonio Brown's gone.
Where's Le'Veon Bell?
He's gone because
Wait, is the quarterback a rapist or not? Okay, continue.
we're not going to do this. He won in spite of all those things.
Okay,
and he's had winning seasons back to back before. Our coach is not. Our coach is a terrible game manager.
Whoa!
Tell me he's not. Keep going.
I wouldn't call him terrible, but
he has a game managing assistant now. Come on. He's so conservative. I just do not like the fact. I like a go getter. Like, he's too conservative for me.
Okay.
I'm get Ron the hell out of here.
So, you don't like Ron? Fine, cool. Would I be? Let me say this before I answer this directly, because I don't really know. Okay.
2-time coach of the year.
Yeah, 2-time coach of the year, Super Bowl appearance. Yes, all true. I think it is incredibly unfair to both coaches however this rumor started. Who knows?
Yeah. I'm actually wondering what
you get what I'm saying. But whoever did this, it is incredibly unfair to both coaches to bring this up in the middle of an NFL season. It's not like either one of them are bad coaches. Yes, I said it. Ron Rivera is not a bad coach, Rodney.
He's average.
Fine.
Let me tell you what Ron Rivera is. Ron Rivera is the girl at the bar who's a solid 6. And there's a girl that's a 10 named Mike Tomlin. And so You know you can take the solid 6 home, but you're afraid of rejection, so you never go for the 10.
Oh, is that right?
So you always go for the 6, so you settle for average.
So, with that being said,
ladies and gentlemen, Vince is single, but he did not understand the analogy. I think I know what Rodney tried to say.
Look, listen,
so you're afraid of rejection, and you're afraid of success. Our fan base, to me, has been afraid to hit that next level. We need to be more critical of our franchises. We're already starting with the Hornets.
Oh, really?
We're already starting with the Hornets.
Oh, really, Rodney?
We need to be as critical with the Panthers.
Really?
Yes.
I actually agree with that. I do believe that the Panthers get more of a pass than the Hornets.
Oh, well, hell yeah. I agree with that.
They get past.
Okay.
They're a better team. They've consistently been better than the Hornets have been. I mean,
if you put the Panthers...
I just want to ask Rodney this.
Yes, sir.
What was the Panthers record when Ron Rivera was hired as the coach the year before?
He's taking someone.
2 of 14?
Yep, 2 of 14.
What was the Steelers record?
When Tomlin took over.
8-8.
8-8. Mike Tomlin took over a team that literally had won the Super Bowl the previous season. Literally.
2 years. 2 years.
A whole season. Meaning that there had only been one season
Gotcha.
between them winning the Super Bowl and Mike Tomlin being the coach.
Yeah.
So he inherited a good team. They still had that same core except for Jerome Bettis. They still had Hines Ward. They still had Troy Polamalu. They still had
age and attrition.
He had a Super Bowl team. Meanwhile, Ron Rivera takes over 2 of 14.
Built the program, installed his defense, kind of. Yes, he did. You stopped that. Yes, he did.
I think Mike Tomlin has actually underachieved.
No.
Wow.
All things considered. I believe because if you look,
hey, Vince, let me cut you off, bro. 126-69, dog. That's not underachieving, man.
No. If you are the head coach of the Cleveland Browns or the Carolina Panthers, that is not underachieving. But if you're the coach of the Dallas Cowboys, the New England Patriots, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Green Bay Packers, that is underachieving to me. In the team, in the franchise like Pittsburgh Steelers,
who expects to win all the time?
You are expected to go to the postseason each and every single year.
He's done that more than he's missed it.
He has been to the playoffs 75%.
He's been to the Super Bowl twice.
He's been to the Super Bowl. Now, he went to the Super Bowl his first year. Which basically means he took Coughlin's team to the Super Bowl, who had just went the year prior and won it. But let me, okay, you guys know me. I do this with the Hornets. I'm all about stability. I feel like if you have that stability, you are allowed to succeed a lot more. So in regards to stability, let me read off a few things that I found while doing my research this morning, okay? As Kaiser said earlier, Ron Rivera inherited a 2 and 14 team. And Mike Tomlin inherited an 8 and 18 who had just won the Super Bowl 2 seasons ago. Okay, so the Steelers have had only one ownership group or whatever you want to call it, which is the Rooney family, right? And while we've only been here for 25 years, we have our second owner in 25 years now because our previous owner
can't keep his hand in his pants or whatever.
Stuff like that. Yeah.
No comment.
So,
no comment.
The Pittsburgh Steelers
nice jeans
have had one GM in the history of their franchise.
Yeah.
And they got that one GM in year 2000.
Right.
So since 2000, they have had the exact same GM for the last 19 years. The Carolina Panthers have had 3 different GMs since 2000, and the one we have now is in his second stint of being a GM.
That's stability.
Stop
That's not stability.
Stop it.
No. Pittsburgh, now here's where it's going to get really tricky. Pittsburgh has had 2 offensive coordinators since 2008.
Wow.
2 offensive coordinators.
Panthers, on the other hand.
The Panthers have had 3 since, I'm sorry. The Panthers have had 4 since 2008, but they've had 3 since Ron Rivera has been the head coach. Okay?
And
one more stat.
a long time ago.
Now, one more stat. we got here in 1995.
Right.
Since 1995, the Panthers have had 9 offensive coordinators.
God.
And since 1995. Sorry.
Yeah.
9 offensive coordinators. Since 1988, and I couldn't go back further because the history wouldn't allow me to, the Steelers have only had 10.
Wow.
Have only had 10 offensive coordinators.
Wow.
So, no. And I get it. You can throw all that out there as conjecture. Let me give you guys one more stat when it comes to stability.
What's that?
Since 1995, the Panthers have had 4 head coaches. 4 head coaches. The Steelers have had 3 head coaches since 1962.
Wow.
1962. They have had 3. So when you have that type of stability, you should be in the conference championship game every year, in my opinion. I've always felt like that.
It's not true.
I've always felt like that.
And once upon a time, the Browns had Belichick. So,
well, but look now, and then I haven't looked at the stats, but look at the stability that you have in the New England Patriots organization, and they are expected to
go
be in
every
the
year.
AFC Championship game every single
because
year.
the AFC is the Eastern Conference of the NFL.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
AFC is the Eastern
I will
Conference.
say the NFC South is a harder division winning than the AFC North.
We beat each other up
I'll agree to
throughout
that.
the year. Yes. So
you got the Steelers and who else? Baltimore.
You worried about the Bengals?
The Bengals was a consistent playoff team for about 7-8 years.
They never won a single playoff game
Ever.
Hey, but they got to the playoffs.
I wish America gave every black man the privilege Marvin Lewis had. I wish I could fail that many times at my job and still come back the next day. But we off subject. But anyway.
Now, I don't know if you gave us your thoughts. Like, I think we all want Ron Rivera out.
No, not necessarily. Not really.
I want him out.
Not really.
But I wouldn't want Tomlin as his replacement.
Oh, gosh.
I'd be fine. Look, if it came down to Ron Rivera being out, I would love Tomlin as a replacement.
Thank you.
But however, I don't think it's fair to either one of them to be talking about this right now. We're 3-2 after the day, man. Can we just ride this wave of?
I wouldn't fire Ron Rivera to hire Mike Tomlin. There's a difference.
Right.
Ron Rivera leaves because it's his time, which it may be. It would have been 9 seasons. And we're looking for a new coach, and by all means, bring Mike Tomlin in.
Right.
But saying, hey, you're not going to cut it, and then firing Ron, and then bringing in someone who has never had to build a Super Bowl team.
Never.
Has he ever had to build a team? That's
Never.
the thing for
When was Roethlisberger drafted?
2000.
Before he got there. Yeah.
So he's had the exact same. Okay,
Right.
so he's had the same
Right.
quarterback. Okay.
And he never had Jerry Richardson as owner. Can we say that? Can we say that?
Panthers don't have instability is because of their relative success. Other teams look at our staff and steal people.
And steal people.
That is true.
And it's hard for us.
You see what McDermott is doing right now.
So
Yeah.
that, to me, I don't know. Is anyone going to Mike Tomlin's coaching tree and trying to get the? I don't know. Somebody have to.
I mean, they have long-time assistants there in Pittsburgh that don't leave Pittsburgh. That's just how it is. Dick LeBeau.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, that speaks to the stability argument. You know?
Yeah.
But hey, look.
I'm riding with Ron,
At the
man.
end of the day, we got at least 4, 5, 6 months before we get an answer to this question. So we're gonna take a break, and we'll be right back to talk about our lovable Hornets. Okay.
I really know how it feels.
And we're back. So we're gonna move on over to our lovable
Losers.
that Rodney likes to talk about, the Charlotte Hornets. So early in the week, the Hornets had their media day as we prepare for the upcoming season. And actually, as we're recording this, we're about 30 minutes away from them taking on the Boston Celtics in their first preseason game of the year. So we'll see how that goes. But, fellas, for the media day, did you guys check it out? If not, what are your guys' thoughts in the aftermath for some of the articles and the hot takes we've been seeing?
One thing that stands out to me, I didn't get to look at too much of it. I like Terry Rozier's confidence.
I agree.
Most definitely.
I think that he's a dog, and
Which is what we need.
we've been missing a dog for the longest. And if he could rub off some on Miles and Bacon, I would love it. That is one thing.
I don't think he's gonna have to rub off on Bacon too much. I really don't. I think
Bacon's a dog?
I think Bacon. Yeah.
Too.
I
And,
do.
and I've
I do.
seen an increased confidence in Bacon this year. I think with those guys getting extra playing time, I think it gave him validation. Like if you've watched Bacon throughout his high school and his college career, if you go look at some of his YouTube videos, he has always been confident. But by playing towards the end of the year last year, I think it validated him that them boys can actually play.
Right.
And I watched his interview during media day. Mm-hmm. You can see it. Like Bacon is ready. Bacon is ready.
All right. So 2 things stood out. 2 players in particular stood out to me for Hornets media day. Malik Monk, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. Let's talk about Malik Monk first.
All right.
I want to start a GoFundMe to hire a PR person for Malik Monk.
Man, look. One word when I think about Malik Monk and his friends that stand out to me: accountability.
Thank you. I couldn't have said it better. He talked about how he put on pounds in the offseason, and that's what he's working on. And he kind of threw a little shade at JB, alluding that he needs more playing time, which has been the age-old argument amongst Hornets fans and media. And right. You get what I'm saying? As far as Malik Monk's playing time, I don't want to spend too much time on this. I'm just going to say one thing, man. It's interesting to me how Dwayne Bacon, Devontae Graham, and Miles Bridges all got better throughout one season. Malik Monk has not gotten better yet. Hornets management can't put a gun to his head to tell him to get better.
Nope.
I'm going to leave it at that because I really don't want to go on this tangent about Malik Monk and his development and all this stuff. Mitch Kupchak, he said all the right thing in regards to the Hornets' direction as far as player development is concerned. Mm-hmm. Malik Monk, you got enough opportunity last year. You're going to get even more of an opportunity this year. Show us what you got. Put up a shut up, man.
That's your question. Is Steve Clifford vindicated? From
yes.
The
yes.
I want to make sure.
Yes.
So statistically, Malik Monk actually improved. Quote, air quotes.
You know my saying. Okay, you know my saying.
Last year to this year. So please explain to the fans that would use that as an argument to show that.
Let me take this one.
Please explain to them why context matters.
Y'all know what I like to say. Stats don't lie, but they also don't tell the entire story. His stats improved because his minutes improved, but that does not mean he got more efficient. And that also doesn't mean he played any better defense.
No.
So your defense doesn't obviously score up in the stat sheet, but your efficiency does, and that did not improve. I'm gonna say it again. It is put up or shut up. Now, I don't believe it's like, hey, man, if you don't get it right this year, we'll trade you. I don't necessarily think that way. We don't know. We don't know what the brass is thinking, but it's definitely a season where it's like it's time to stop talking and trying to use the media to relay your message to JB. It's time to stop all that foolishness, man.
In the words of Vince, he started to go downhill when he called out the starters the game versus Chicago Bulls.
Yeah, agree.
Talk too much, man. Yeah. But piggybacking on what Jamal said, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, man, he just sounds like
not happy.
Defeated.
He's not happy.
He's defeated.
He's not happy.
If he didn't have that $13 million option, if it was like $5 million, he'd have been gone.
I think he's going this season.
Well, I saw somewhere on Twitter that the only reason why he picked up his option was because I guess he just had a kid, and he just wanted to be somewhere for 1 year.
Here's the thing about, and speaking to what I was going to say in relation to the media day. They asked Rick Bonnell asked him about what has he been told about his role. He said no comment.
Yeah.
Now I don't know whether to make that a big deal or not for one reason, because I don't know if any single player outside of Terry Rozier or Cody Zeller has a defined role on his team. Yeah. So I don't know whether to really make that a big deal or not. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But in regards to MKG, he's one of the longest tenured. He might be the longest tenured Hornet at this point. Let me say this, man. Going back to how he's coming across as to the fans, whatever. I have been saying for the last 3 seasons, I do not believe he has been healthy or happy. The last exit interview for the Hornets this past season, a reporter asked him, "What is important to you going into the next season?" You know what his answer was? Happiness. Players usually don't answer questions like that. You get what I'm saying? So people will crap on MKG till the cows come home. And I've been trying to tell people I'm telling you, he's not as bad as y'all think he is. This dude has not been happy or healthy for a very long time. And I think he lost something. And I think the only way he's going to get that back is probably going to go to another team, man.
Let me ask you a question. In today's NBA, a wing who cannot shoot, cannot create his own, is spotty playing defense. Is there a place for him after this?
I think there still is a place, but I think it's a matter of putting the right players around them. And
gotcha.
Go ahead, Jamal.
I didn't mean to cut you off. It goes back to this happiness thing again, man. Maybe I believe in the dude more than other people do. That's very possible. Maybe because I like the guy or something. But let me say this. I have been watching this dude since Mike Dunlap coached this team. Yes. It is no coincidence that this dude played. You throw out all the stats in the eye test and all this stuff. It's no coincidence this dude played with so much more energy under different coaches. That's not a coincidence to me, man. When you're not happy, you're not going to play up to your standard. I think he's a little better than what people make him out to be. You get what I'm saying? I just don't think he's as terrible as people want to make him out to be.
To answer your question directly, I'll give. I said that you need to put him around a team where he won't be relied upon to score. And two players that I will give you, I'll give you Tony Allen when he was in Memphis,
right,
and I'll give you Sean Livingston when he was in Golden State.
Right.
They were both allowed to be defensive stoppers. So if he can, and we've never had two go-to players. We've had Kemba and everybody else.
Yeah.
You know, Lamb may have been that guy this year, but you know, obviously we won't get a chance to see that. So I think with this year, I really don't know, because getting back to these exit interviews or to these media day interviews, JB actually stuck out to me, because if you go listen to it, he sounds like he has a firm plan. He's very remorseful in his approach that he took last year, because he tried to make them San Antonio 2.0,
right?
And the team and they didn't have the right parts or whatnot. He is saying all the right things, but with JB right now, I'm at the point where I'm like, you got to show me. I don't believe anything you say, because at the last part of last season, you were saying you were going to switch some things up, and if it works, you're going to go with it. Well,
he waited too long to do that last year.
And I don't even think he did it, because even with the youngins playing so good, Nick and Marv still got heavy minutes. They still got heavy minutes. So
I can understand Marv, but Nick is unforgivable.
Yeah, so I with JB, it's really gonna be like, I gotta wait and see it.
Yeah.
Another thing that stuck out to me was Nick Batum said he has to score more.
I want to throw up right
now.
Kaz, if I throw up right now, I apologize for it, man.
3 years ago.
Now look, let me throw a question out there. I saw this in our Hornets group today. I don't think no one expects Terry Rozier to do what Kemba did and put up 24, 25, 26 points a night. Given his contract,
just don't ask him about it.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah.
Given his contract, what does he have to do to justify the contract for you?
This is not going to be a popular answer. There's one thing Terry Rozier has to do to justify that contract: be more efficient. The big shtick for Terry Rozier and the big knock on him coming into this team was his shooting percentage. That has to come up. Yeah. You can't give a $19 million dude who's shooting 39%, man. It can't happen. Now, I'm personally, for whatever reason, I'm not overly worried about it, because Kemba Walker's shooting percentage was pretty low, you know, just to the start of his career. Terry Rozier, I keep saying this, man. I think he has a really big chip on his shoulder, and I think he will improve upon that. So if I had to just kind of give you maybe two things, I'd say be a leader and be more efficient, and that's it.
Leadership skills. I want him to be around between 17 and 19 points a game.
Okay.
Shooting around 42, 43%, and just you don't. If when I look at him, I want to be able to see, okay, this was him in January. This is him in April. He's so much better.
Right.
He has better command of the team, better presence on the floor. That's all I want to see. I just want to see him get better, be a good teammate, and make his teammates better. Make his bravado rub off on everybody else. That's all you have to do. I'm like,
and compete.
For this year, I don't care if we win 20 games, 16 games, or 45. I just want to see the young guys get better, and I want to see him take the lead.
Okay, speaking of taking the lead, our all-time leader in points and assists and shots made and shots taken and minutes played and all of that stuff in Hornets history, his number was given to J. Cole in a recent visit to one of the Hornets practices.
Dude.
How much disrespect is this coming from the Hornets organization to give J. Cole a number 15 Hornets jersey?
Unreal.
J. Cole in high school was number 15. That was his high school number. I don't see a big deal. Honestly, for me, I don't see a big deal. Kemba's gone. It's time to move on. In 10, 15, 20 years, his number will be retired.
It better be.
Nobody else will ever wear the number. Some people believe that if you haven't won anything, you should never be retired. But I'm not going to go there today. But I don't see this as that big of a deal.
Okay.
It's a popularity thing. J. Cole's hot right now, and for to show his support for the team, that's big. It's overblown. Okay,
Rodney, you made a great point. Seriously, those are great points you made. What's my favorite saying, y'all? Optics mean everything.
Optics matter.
What a horrible look right now. Are these the same people that run the Hornets social media that made this decision, man? Maybe it's not a big deal. Maybe Kemba Walker will see this picture and not care one bit. But you know who is going to care? These fans who are already mad at every little thing the Hornets do. Every little stinking thing the Hornets do, and the fans are going to criticize. Somebody's going to look at it and be like, why they give him Kemba Walker? See, you know what? They suck. Michael Jordan sucked. Why did Michael Jordan decide to give J. Cole number 15? That's exactly what's going to happen.
It's C-H-C-L-T, not C-H-A.
That's my point. Now, maybe it ain't a big deal, but sometimes stuff looks like a big deal.
All right, well, look, speaking of things being hot right now, let's go open up a few windows, get some air coming in and all that good stuff, and we'll be right back, y'all, all right?
Yeah.
All right, y'all, we're back. So we're going to switch it up. We're going to go into our little culture segment right now. And Rodney was listening to the radio one day, and a topic came up that he wanted to bring to Under Construction. So I'm going to ask a question, and then, Jamal, I'm going to let you go, okay?
All right.
So Charlotte doesn't have an MLB baseball team.
Not yet.
The closest team that we have are the Atlanta Braves.
Right.
Considering our quote-unquote hate for the Atlanta Falcons as a Panthers fan base.
Right.
Atlanta Hawks, too.
And supposedly the Atlanta Hawks. Is it okay for Charlotteans to be fans of the Atlanta Braves?
Yes.
Because
who else are we going to root for in it? Because here's the thing.
Washington Nationals.
Stop it. You know good and damn well. Now stop it. The Washington Nationals been around for what, 10 years or whatever?
They were there before.
Man, here's the thing, man. To be more specific. Growing up in the Charlotte area in the late 80s, early 90s, there were two cable stations that showed MLB teams. One of them was WGN. We used to get the Chicago network. You saw mostly Cubs games. You saw a little bit of White Sox game. So there was one team that you saw all the time, but the team you saw the most was on TBS. Who were we talking about? The Braves. I was about to say the Hawks. the Braves were on TV every single night. So if you live in Charlotte and you're into baseball, that's who you got. There wasn't a bunch of national games going on cable back in the 90s and the late 80s. So that's what you got. Just by default.
So I'm gonna throw something out there. Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana.
All those teams.
What do they all have in common?
They don't have a baseball team.
Yeah, and guess who allowed them to monopolize?
Who's that?
The MLB with the Atlanta Braves. I'm sick of it.
Okay.
The South needs another team. Just plain and simple.
So you have a problem with people from Charlotte rooting for an Atlanta team? Who else we gonna root for, man? Even though I root for somebody else,
let me ask you guys a question.
Don't watch baseball.
Let me ask you guys a question.
Wow.
Let me ask you guys a
Be a
question.
Yankees fan.
No
matter whatever sport it is, we'll keep it pro. No matter what sport it is, let's say the city and the state that you live in does not have a pro team, right? what's your rule for finding a team to root for?
Find your favorite player that you like and root for the team.
But no, you can't do that.
It's
because
regional.
Because if you do that, then you can't get mad at all of the Cleveland, Miami, Cleveland, Los Angeles fans that's out there.
My answer might surprise you coming from me. If you live in the city, you have no pro teams in your area. Go where your heart tells you to go. That's my answer. Coming from me of all people.
So how did your heart get you into Oakland?
I'm gonna tell you what.
Pretty jerseys.
I'm glad you asked, Vince. So on this fateful day back in 1989, my family and I just moved to Charlotte. We were literally unpacking boxes, and the World Series was on. It was the Oakland A's and the no. It was Oakland A's and the San Francisco Giants, called the Quake Series. And I really like these two players called the Bass Brothers, Jose Canseco, Mark McGwire. They just look pretty cool to me. I was like, you know what? I'll go for this green and yellow team. I like their uniforms too. I was 8 years old, and it just stuck, man.
That's how it happened.
That's it, man.
Now, I don't have a problem with people from Charlotte being fans of the Atlanta Braves because I don't feel like my hate for the Falcons as a Panthers fan should bleed over into another sport. That kind of doesn't. And I've seen that narrative on social media, and like that to me that's not the smartest of narratives, and that's probably as nice as I can say that. But the reason why I asked you guys that question is because I've always believed if you don't have a team, if your city or your state doesn't have a team, I always feel like you should root for the team geographically closest to where you are.
Yeah, not 3,000 miles away because
like
your uncle and your daddy
born in Connecticut lives in Charlotte, but is an Oakland A's fan.
I mean, because
always weirdness.
So I think
Florida State fan.
I think it's exactly like Connecticut Huskies, Florida State Seminoles.
Like we tell you they have a comment though. At the time when he was young, they were all winning. He's a bandwagon.
You stopped that. Don't you ever call me? You stopped. You stopped that.
I was watching the World Series.
And they happen to be winning.
I'm sorry. How old was I, guys? I'm sorry.
Wait. No.
In 1989.
Legit question. Who won that World Series?
Oakland.
Okay, moving on.
Y'all got jokes. Yeah, my 8-year-old self was bandwagon, so you're right.
All right, so check it out.
I'm sorry, when's the last time Oakland won anything, guys?
I don't know. I watch baseball.
Thanks. All right.
I'll watch baseball.
Since then, that's the answer right there.
Well, they lost the playoff game.
So you need a DVD player like Dallas Cowboy fans. Huh?
Hey, something's right here on the box right here. Can you catch that?
All right, so last topic before we get out of here, okay? On the more serious note, the state of California continues to be the leader in progressive social justice.
Socialist. I love that
early in
word.
the week, they passed a law basically allowing college athletes to earn money off of the name, which will start in 2023. Obviously, boomers and conservatives are pissed the hell off right now, but that's what they do. So, Rodney, how do you feel about this?
I'm happy. It's been a shout out to Ed O'Bannon too.
Oh yeah.
But I'm very.
I want my NCAA football college game.
Man, me too, man. Look, me too. They keep the basketball, but the football is awesome. But I'm ecstatic about this, and seeing that other states are proposing this legislation is awesome. There's also a federal legislation on the table that's being presented to make it national, so that these players can get paid. It's un-American for these players to make money for the NCAA and not benefit off their name. I think back to the Ohio State incident with the quarterback at the time,
Braxton Miller.
Braxton Miller.
Yeah,
where they got tattoos and change. I'm like, he can't profit off his likeness. I'm like, he's not taking any.
Yeah,
it's just the NCAA. They're a bunch of crooks.
Backwards.
What you got, Jamal?
All right, so a while ago when Tim Tebow was at Florida, what's my man's name? There was what's my man's name? ESPN personality that I can't think of his name right now. He literally went on the NCAA's website and he went to the shop tab. There's like this thing where you can shop for jerseys. He typed in the name Tebow,
popped up,
and the number 2 jersey popped up. How much money did Tim Tebow get from that sale if somebody bought that jersey?
He wouldn't take any.
Yeah, you with where your argument is going, you kind of use the wrong player because Tim Tebow is completely against all
you
this.
You get the point.
That's up to Tebow.
That's up to him. But y'all get the point.
Yeah,
Regardless of who the player or the person is, you get the point. Let's not act brand new, okay? But there is a complexity to this new law, and it's not all great. Now, don't get me wrong. It's mostly good, and the players who are going to really need to benefit from it are. But it's a lot more complex than people think it is, because what's going to happen with the superstar lacrosse dude who's producing more than anybody else? Is he really going to benefit from this? Are women college athletes really going to benefit from this? We all know exactly who's going to benefit from this. There's going to be star football players, star basketball players, maybe. Because that's not to say that the NCAA won't think of some way, somehow, you get what I'm saying, to not market these players. They don't want to give any money to these players. I don't give a damn what this law says. You think the NCAA is going to just willfully just start promoting these players to start getting paid? Don't hold your breath on that, man.
What's basically going to happen is these schools are going to have to make choices on who they're going to promote. To me, it's gonna affect more so football than basketball, because basketball, the one and done thing.
The one and done thing is prevalent, right? So I agree with that.
Not unless you're at Zion, you're not gonna get like those ads and stuff like that.
Right.
But the football fallout is gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
Well, and let me give you a counterpoint or counter argument. I don't think this will benefit only the superstar basketball and football players, because if you remember that kicker from UCF who had his YouTube channel, now granted, it took him 4 or 5 years to build his following to the point to where he can get the money, but he still was able to get to the point to where he can start getting paid. And we don't watch lacrosse. We don't watch tennis.
But somebody does.
But there is a following out there. So if the lacrosse player or whatnot starts making a YouTube channel, to be honest with you, it doesn't take that much to get 1,000 subscribers.
Well, apparently it does.
Well, for us, it does. With nobody's. But if
like, share, subscribe.
If you're a college athlete, you can get 1,000. You can get 1,000 subscribers, and then I think it would be easy for any athlete to start making money. And then the thing is, it's not even the fact that they're gonna make X amount of dollars. It's the fact that they're allowed to if they want to do so. I watch women's basketball, and I think there will be a lot of women's basketball players who will benefit from doing.
Well, I think they have a lot more solidarity in their perspective field too. So
now, I will say this. I will say that even though all of the athletes are going to benefit from it, I do feel kind of bad for the basketball and football players, because let's be real, it's those guys that who's at the center of this conversation.
Right. Screwed over the most.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It's those guys who are bringing in the money to all those schools. There's a lot of schools out there right now that if they didn't have a football team, they're not operating. Yeah. They're not operating right now. So they did the suffering, but everyone's gonna benefit off of their suffering.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah. You guys got anything else on this?
Just bring NCAA football video game back, man. We good, man. I don't care who get paid off of it. I just want NCAA football to come back.
All right.
I miss it, man.
All right. On that note, we're gonna move into our shout outs. All right. So Rodney, I'm gonna start with you.
Let me shout out to The Baby. Kirk is the #1 album.
Oh, yeah, we did miss you last week. Huh? Yeah.
It's the #1 album.
Congratulations, sir.
It's an all right album. I'm not bumping everything, but it's okay. Cool.
It all sounds the same.
I got a shot at Sports Illustrated. They recently announced a whole bunch of layoffs. I think they were bought by an investor, and you know how those changes go. My thoughts and prayers are to all the people that were laid off, the longtime employees and everything. And also Joshua Brown. My condolences to your family. Yeah, man. Jamal will dive deeper into it.
Yeah. This whole case with the Botham case is disturbing. And it leads me to my shot at. I don't want to be too long-winded about this, man. I'll just say this. I'll keep it as flat as I possibly can without going on a tangent. Forgiveness is a very complex word to a lot of people. I'm gonna say this on my behalf and hopefully on my friends' behalf. Ain't that much damn forgiveness in the world. At the very least, if you are a judge presiding over a case, and I mean at the very least, there's supposed to be a certain level of professionalism. We're not even going to get into race. We're not even going to get into the judge-police relationship. I'm not even going to get into that because we don't have time for that today. At the very least, that family whose family member got murdered, they at the very least deserve professionalism from the judge and the bailiff. My shot at goes to just the Dallas legal system, man. I don't even have enough words to describe how pissed off I am at this whole thing, man. Just thoughts and prayers go out to the family. Yeah. On a lot less, and I don't even want to end on that note because I got another shout out. I have a pleasant shout out. My shout out goes to Giannis Antetokounmpo. Here's why. ESPN and major media outlets are at it again. They are already putting Giannis Antetokounmpo on the Warriors and the damn Los Angeles Lakers already, and the Knicks already. Giannis Antetokounmpo came out and said, y'all need to chill. It is not fair to my organization for y'all to keep bringing this up. That doesn't mean he won't do any of this thing. That doesn't mean he won't go to any of these teams at the end of the day. But at least this dude is being professional about it and shooting his stuff down in the middle. Not in the middle, but at the start of the NBA season, man. So shout out goes to Giannis Antetokounmpo. Yeah.
For my shout out, I just want to shout out everybody in general. You guys know that I'm real big on social media, but I don't like the whole, hey, here's a gym selfie. Hey, here's a bathroom pic. Hey, look what I ate today. Like, I feel like social media is too powerful of a tool.
Man, traffic is so bad
for you to be posting all that type of stuff. So, in regards to recent events, for all of you that are out there, sharing stuff of the inequities of the justice system, stuff like that. I just want to say I salute you.
Yeah.
For those of you that are talking about those hard topics that people don't like talking about, I just want to say that I salute you because that's the stuff that we need to be talking about. This country is probably in the worst shape that it's been in since before our lifetimes, and We've seen time and time again that we cannot depend on our justice system. We cannot depend on our politicians or those who are in charge to do whatever it is they're supposed to do.
Right.
So for those of you that are out there using your social media to speak up and speak out, I just want to say that I salute you.
No doubt.
Before we go, shout out to our followers. Please like, share, subscribe. We love y'all, and let's close it out.
All right, but before I close it out, because I do this in the past, Kazi, you got a shout out this week?
I want to shout out all the people that injured themselves falling off the Kyle Allen bandwagon. The Panthers training staff who are showing themselves to be more than capable will tend to your wounds.
And on that note, we'll see you guys next week, all right? We appreciate it.
The ruffling feathers.